Running a Redm server isn't as simple as just setting it up and letting players enjoy. There are real costs, ongoing maintenance, and a lot of behind the scenes work that most people don't see. Today, I want to break down exactly what it takes to run a server like the Rift, where the money goes, and why decisions about funding aren't as easy as they seem. If you've ever wondered what it really costs to run a Redm server or why community-driven projects need financial support, this video is for you. So first things first, we're going to talk about the real cost of running a server. A common misconception about community-driven servers like the Rift is that they generate thousands of dollars in revenue each month. In reality, our funding fluctuates significantly, and hitting even $700 a month is a major achievement for us. The only time we ever reached $1,000 was in 2024 at the very beginning, when a highly anticipated script dropped that led to an unusual surge in one-time contributions. However, this was an exception and not the norm. One of the challenges we face is that Patreon numbers can appear higher than they actually are. Many supporters subscribe for a single month, often to gain access to a custom house, and then cancel their membership. This means that Patreon's displayed revenue does not accurately reflect the actual ongoing support we receive. Since these one-time payments don't renew, it makes long-term financial planning difficult and adds uncertainty to covering fixed monthly costs like server hosting, security, and development. Unlike larger operations, we don't have guaranteed income, which is why every bit of support truly matters. When we do receive funding, we reinvest every dollar back into the server, ensuring that the Rift continues to operate, improve, and grow. So I want to get into the real cost of running a server. So let's first talk numbers. Running a server like the Rift isn't free. It comes with real costs. Here are some of the major expenses we cover every month. And keep in mind, there are still yearly expenses that we have to pay. We try to save money by paying some of our expenses yearly. Not all of them can be done that way, but it does help us save money. However, the downside is it requires more money up front, and it can be difficult to get a lump sum of money together to pay for these things unless we are to have an abundance of savings. The first is server hosting. To keep the server running smoothly, we spend $200 per month on hosting. This ensures a lag-free gameplay and allows us to support our growing community. We host our server with a provider that offers military-grade DDoS protection and exceptional customer service. Their proactive approach has been a game changer in keeping the Rift online, even under frequent and large-scale DDoS attacks. Our server is targeted with DDoS attempts on a weekly basis, often in response to in-game confrontations involving disruptive players. In some cases, individuals have attempted to actually hold the server hostage, demanding money in exchange for stopping their attacks. Despite this, our hosting provider has gone above and beyond, investing countless hours and resources into ensuring our stability. While they don't primarily market themselves as a DDoS mitigation provider, their systems outperform many dedicated security services, effectively shielding the Rift from malicious disruptions. Speaking on DDoS threats and protections, back in July of 2024, someone did attempt to extort money from us by threatening to crash our server unless we paid them. But thanks to our strong DDoS protection, their attacks had no impact and the Rift remained stable despite their threats. Over the last 45 days, we have faced 37 DDoS attacks, all of which were successfully mitigated by our hosting provider. While our activity history only goes back 45 days, this is fairly normal for us. I also want to talk about our server structure, because the Rift isn't just one server, it actually consists of 3 separate servers, each with a specific purpose. Our main server, the primary server where players experience the Rift's world, this is where the community interacts, sandbox mainly, but you're welcome to roleplay and enjoy our core gameplay. We also have an event server, a separate space for hosting large-scale events without disrupting the main server. It also serves as overflow when the main server reaches capacity. And we have our dev server. It's used for testing updates, scripts, and features before rolling them out to the main server or events. This prevents broken features or major disruptions from affecting gameplay. So why our hosting setup is different and legal. When it comes to game servers, most hosting companies manage their entire server environment, including framework updates, data hosting, and backend maintenance. Because this service is provided by for-profit companies, it's not legal unless specifically approved by CFX or Rockstar. Only a select few companies have permission to legally host Redm or FiveM servers. Some businesses, like Iceline, offer game server hosting for Redm, but these services aren't legal under Rockstar's terms. Rockstar strictly prohibits unauthorized companies from making a profit off their intellectual property, and hosting Redm servers for a fee directly violates that. Since we pay for a virtual private server, or VPS, which only provides raw server space without managing game-related services, we don't fall under these restrictions. We fully manage our own server, meaning we handle updates, configurations, optimizations, all of that ourselves. This keeps the Rift 100% compliant with Rockstar's policies while ensuring we maintain complete control over our server environment. By self-managing our hosting, we not only stay within the legal boundaries, but we also ensure better performance, security, and flexibility, all without relying on a third-party host that could get shut down at any time. Another expense is our CFX payment. It's Redm's framework, and it requires a $30 monthly payment to operate. And that CFX payment is a monthly subscription, so it is required to run our Redm server. What is CFX? Well, CFX is the team behind FiveM and Redm, providing the framework and infrastructure that allows custom multiplayer servers to function within Rockstar's ecosystem. Without their platform, we wouldn't be able to host or customize the Rift as we do. So why do we pay for it? It gives us access to key server features. Paying for CFX ensures we have the best performance, including higher player limits, better resource allocation, and priority network access. The CFX team also continuously updates and improves their Redm framework, ensuring compatibility with new scripts, security patches, and optimizations, so there is always ongoing development and stability. Community-driven modification. CFX relies on these payments to maintain and grow the platform. So while we are making a payment, it also goes into supporting Redm as a whole. While some servers might want to try to avoid this fee, doing so results in limited capabilities, poor performance, and instability, none of which are acceptable for a community-driven server like the Rift. This payment is non-negotiable for quality gameplay, and it remains a crucial part of our monthly operating costs. Another one of our expenses is investing in scripts, MLOs, Spooner items, YMAPs, etc. While some are available for free, many essential scripts, such as our horse-related script and advanced features, require paid licenses. So that typically ranges from $50 to $200 per script, depending on the complexity. For example, we previously purchased Sire's horse script, but he's currently remaking it with significant improvements. Additionally, he's developing a separate breeding script, which comes at an additional cost. Since this is being released as a new product rather than a simple update, those who wish to purchase the upgraded version and the breeding system will need to purchase them separately. We don't purchase scripts every month, but when necessary. We prioritize features that enhance the player experience. Sometimes we save up for larger purchases to ensure we are investing in the best tools available. Additionally, when we receive one-time donations, we aim to reinvest them into improvements for the server. That being said, another one of our expenses is our Discord bots and automation. We use SXBot, which is $10 a month, Sesh, which is $10 a month, and Me6, which is $5 a month. We also have our application bot, which is $50 a year. As I stated before, we try to pay for things yearly to save the most, so we're not paying more for those month-to-month charges, but we can't always afford to do that. These bots are pivotal to helping our community and keeping it going strong. They enable us to create amazing event signups. They give us extra voice chat channels so we can have multiple voice chats going at a time. And they let us have applications in Discord, which would be very hard to do if we had to use another source. These bots are very important to keep Discord streamlined for our community. Another one of our costs is our website. So this costs approximately $40 a month, and we have to have a domain with it, which is another $5 a month. And previously we ran a merch store, but due to high international shipping costs, we actually lost money. So we've since discontinued it, and we still maintain a website plan, but that is $204 if paid yearly or $24 a month. So ideally, we do like to pay for the website years at a time. The last time we paid for the website, I paid out of my own pocket and prepaid it for 2 years. So it is due now, and we are downgrading it because, again, we are rethinking our whole merch situation since we lost money. And we are going to be having a bare bones website. But the website serves as a crucial hub for server updates, rules, guides, event scheduling, and community resources. It provides a professional and accessible space for both new and existing members to stay informed and engaged. Removing it would significantly limit our ability to share critical information. Our terms of service, harassment policy, privacy policy, etc. are all on there, and they provide a structured experience outside of Discord where this information could easily get lost. It also has long-term growth and stability. Keeping an official website adds credibility to the Rift and makes us more sustainable in the long term. Servers that rely only on Discord can feel temporary, but a website gives us a home base that won't disappear if something happens to social platforms. Many players find the Rift through our website first. It serves as a welcoming introduction to what we offer, allowing potential members to learn about the community before joining. We also have some miscellaneous costs. Additional expenses include Canva Teams for graphics, which is $10 a month, tax software when it's needed every year, legal consultations at $50 an hour as needed, which you wouldn't think a server would need. However, we have had to use lawyers before to get legal advice. Now, these are just our main expenses. Keep in mind, this isn't factoring in taxes and other fees, which I will touch base on later in this video. But what we're going to talk about next is where the money comes from. So, for us to cover these costs, our main source of funding comes from Patreon, which allows community members to support the server and get small perks in return. But here's something important. Patreon fluctuates each and every month. Some months it will cover the costs. Other months we pay out of pocket. But no money is pocketed. Every dollar from Patreon goes directly back into the server. We follow Rockstar and Redm's terms of service. No pay to win, no unfair advantages, just optional perks like custom housing. Why we save extra revenue for a safety net? One of the most important things about managing the Rift's finances is not spending every dollar that comes in. Just because there's extra money left over 1 month doesn't mean it's extra money to spend. Because of our fluctuating revenue, some months Patreon support is higher, and other months it drops. If we spent every surplus dollar immediately, we wouldn't have enough to cover costs during weaker months. There's also unexpected expenses, things like script updates, new features, or emergency fixes that come up randomly. Having a cushion means we don't have to scramble or dip into personal funds when something breaks or needs improvement. Again, I'm going to bring up taxes and annual costs because some expenses like taxes, fees, and software renewals aren't monthly but still need to be accounted for. Keeping extra funds set aside ensures we're prepared when those bills come due. And long-term stability. running a server isn't about keeping things going today. It's about making sure the Rift continues to run smoothly for the long haul. Having financial stability means we can plan ahead without relying on unpredictable donations. So while it might look like extra money exists some months, in reality it's being saved to keep the Rift stable in the months that follow. I also wanted to touch base on our custom housing and some common misconceptions. One question we get a lot about custom housing is it paywalled? Housing is not paywalled. Every player, paying or not, has access to different housing options. Only custom houses are a Patreon perk. Custom houses are a Patreon perk because they take up space and resources, and they are therefore reserved for supporters. Former custom house owners will still have the ability to choose any other house, so you can still have a home that you can decorate as you wish. We're also doing instanced teleporters, which will allow more people to have a customizable instanced house on the map. I'm going to touch base again on taxes and why saving monthly is important, because one of the biggest hidden costs of running a community-driven project like the Rift is taxes. Since the Rift is not an LLC, all income from Patreon is considered my personal income for tax purposes. That means when tax season comes around, I have to report both my own income and any revenue that the Rift has made to calculate the total amount of taxes that I owe. We ensure financial responsibility by setting aside necessary funds for legal and tax obligations, making sure the Rift remains stable long term. But this means approximately 15 to 20% of what we earn each month has to be saved for taxes. So why does that matter? Because even though every dollar from the Patreon goes back into the server, taxes still apply to the revenue we bring in. It's something that many people don't think about even when they see Patreon numbers. They don't realize that a chunk of that income has to be set aside for tax payments, and Patreon also takes its share of fees as well. This is why long-term stability matters. We want to ensure the Rift can keep running without unexpected financial strain when tax season arrives. So while Patreon helps cover expenses, we also have to plan ahead and be responsible about saving for taxes. Transparency is important to us. We know when people support a community, they want to know where the money is going. That's why we've always been upfront about our costs. No one on the team gets paid. All the funds go right back into making the Rift a better experience. At the end of the day, this is about sustainability. Servers like the Rift aren't cheap to run, and without financial support, they can't last. We want to keep providing an amazing experience for everyone without putting the financial burden on a single person. Running a server like the Rift isn't about just covering costs. It's about smart resource management and community dedication. Unlike many other servers that outsource work, we handle everything in-house, from development and scripting to moderation and event planning. By doing this ourselves and for free, we significantly reduce expenses, allowing us to stretch every dollar further. We don't hire outside developers or pay for unnecessary services. We invest directly into what improves the server. At the end of the day, we're all in this together, pooling our skills, time, resources to create something truly special. This community-driven approach ensures that every contribution, whether it's time, effort, or financial support, goes right back into making the Rift the best experience possible. Did you know we have almost 50 people who volunteer their time to make this community the best it can be? We have exactly 49 people that volunteer and don't get paid a dime to make this community what it is. They do it because they love this place, they love this community, and we couldn't do this without them. It really does take a village to run this community, and I hope this video helped shed some light on what it really takes to run a Redm server. Our team of staff is dedicated and work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the Rift running smoothly. From moderation and development to community engagement, everyone on this list contributes their time and skills purely out of passion for the community. We are always working on new features and improvements, like getting ready for the new sire scripts to drop, where you can fully customize your horse and breed them, to enhanced, expanded gameplay options such as our collector role and our herbalist role, which are coming to you soon. We also have Trec 2.0, which we've been working on as a surprise for our community for a while, and it's finally finished and ready for release. We also have some updates coming to Mexico as well. So stay tuned for these exciting updates. At the end of the day, the Rift isn't just a Discord server or a Redm server. It's a community, a safe space, and a reflection of what's possible when passion meets purpose. We have built something truly special, not just by creating a unique Redm experience, but by fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and safer gaming space for everyone. I'm incredibly grateful for every single person who has contributed, whether through time, effort, creativity, or support. None of this would have been possible without you. This journey has proven that you can make an impact simply by doing what you love and staying true to yourself. Every challenge we've faced, every milestone we've hit, and every connection we've built along the way has reinforced the idea that gaming should be a place where people feel safe, valued, and inspired. I couldn't be more proud, humbled, and thankful for what we've accomplished together. The Rift is proof that when a community comes together with kindness, passion, and determination, amazing things can happen. If you found this interesting, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and take care.